Okay, here we are cooking tri-tip on the Bubba Keg. First you need cowboy lump charcoal or something like that. You definitely need lump charcoal though, no briquettes. I have an electric starter. It takes about 5 minutes to light the charcoal. As you can see, I don't have very much charcoal in here. I want to be able to see all the holes at all times around the outer edge. There's holes around the outer edge. It takes about 5 minutes to get the charcoal going. It'll take about another 10 minutes until the fire is ready. Okay, now as you can see, I have disconnected the electric starter. The flue is almost 100% open. I like to close it down a little because I don't like the fire to get too hot too fast. The chimney on the top is all the way open, and the temperature, as you can see, is about 200 degrees. This will take about another 5 or 10 more minutes until it gets up to around 300. Once it gets up down around 300, I'm going to knock down the vents to approximately 2.5 at the bottom, and then at the top just under 2, and then I'm going to put the tri-tip on. Okay, it's been approximately 5 to 6 minutes. The grill is now at temperature. As you can see, it is about 340, 345. I've turned down the chimney down to setting of 2, and I've got the flue at the bottom at about 1.5, and that's probably too wide, but I'm going to close it down after. Here I have my tri-tip that I got from Costco. It's rosemary, garlic, and Chardonnay marinated. It comes in a bag, no seasoning, don't have to season it at all. Okay, I'm going to put the tri-tip on now. Burp it so you don't burn yourself. I like to put it on with the fat side up first. I'm going to put it directly over the fire because I like to char my tri-tip. As you can see, at this little of the temperature, it'll get back up very quickly. You have to make sure and watch your cooker and turn down the vents, or otherwise your grill will get too hot. It's very important in the starting phase. Once you get it started and get used to your grill, it's real easy. And so we're going to leave it like this and for about another 15 minutes and then flip it. Okay, it's now been about 6 or 7 minutes. As you can see, I've got the flue open about a finger's width, index finger's width at the bottom, and it's set just below 2 on the top, and it's at a steady 350. And as you can see, the smoke is coming out. Okay, or the Bubba Keg, excuse me, is pretty much dialed in now. It'll stay at that temperature. I'm not worried about it going down at this point. I just got to make sure it doesn't get too hot. So I'll probably have to close the lower vent pretty soon. And I've probably got another 10 minutes or so, and then I'm going to turn the tri-tip over. This is Kamado style grilling, convection Bubba Keg. The meat comes out very juicy. It's the best barbecue grill I've ever had, and I'm very happy with it. I've been using it now for about 6-7 months, and I'm getting the hang of it. Alright, it's now been just about almost 15 minutes. I did have to close down the bottom flue a little. It was getting up a little over 350, and that's a little hotter than I wanted to get it. But it doesn't take much to turn down the heat. You just take your handy tool here and you give it what I call the Bubba bump, which is where you just take it, do a few taps here, closes it down, does it all. Still have left about a half a finger's width there. It's definitely, if you look at the numbers, it's almost set at 1 exactly. But if you want to keep the fire from getting hot, you got to shut it down, and you'd be surprised it doesn't need much air at all. At the top, as you can see, the smoke is coming out and it's cooking away. Alright, got about another 5 or 10 minutes and then I'm going to flip it for the first time. Okay, it's now been just over 15 minutes and I'm going to flip the meat for the first time. As you can see, the grill is still at about 355, almost 360. It's going strong. Now, I just got to make sure that I don't get it too hot. So I'm going to burp it so I don't burn myself. It's a big piece of meat. You can see the grill is just warm. I got my hand on it. It's warm, but it's not hot. Even the flue I can adjust with my hand. Keep it just below 2. Okay, it's now been approximately 30 minutes. The temperature is climbing a little. I'm probably going to close down the flue a little bit, not much. Like I said, I like to get a char on my tri-tip. I think it adds to the flavor. And as you can see, the temperature is just below 400, between 350 and 400. Do not lift the lid, as you will let out the smoke unless you're going to do something with the meat. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the meat so I give it a cross grill pattern on the bottom of the meat. I'm just going to turn it about a quarter turn so I get a good cross pattern on the bottom of the meat. And later, once again, I need to burp it. I'm going to turn it down a little too. It is getting hot, so you're probably going to want to use gloves or the uni tool or universal tool. Once again, you got to burp it. Whew, that's hot. Do a quarter turn. Close her down again. I'll wait another 5 or 10 minutes and then I'll flip it and we'll be just about finished. Alright, believe it or not, I actually had to shut down the bottom flue even a little more. As you can see, the top one's almost completely closed. It started to get up over 400 degrees and I don't want to get it too far over 400. 400 I'm okay with, so I want to keep it constant at about 400, and it's about right on 400 now. I'm going to flip it one more time, and then about done. Once again, you want to make sure you burp the Bubba Keg so you don't burn yourself, and anything over 400 degrees, I highly recommend gloves. Yep, still too rare. Alright, it has now been 45 minutes. As you can still see, the grill is at 400. I think the meat's done. I'm going to take it off. Once again, make sure you burp it. Rather undercook it than overcook it. Oh, that looks yummy. Yep, I think it's done. Finger looking good. Alright, I'm going to close the lid on the vents, and I can reuse the charcoal. That will turn off, and there will be a ton of charcoal left for the next time. What's great about these Bubba kegs is you use about half the amount of charcoal you ever did before with normal briquettes. Once again, make sure you always use lump with no lighter fluid. Okay, we're going to wait about 10-15 minutes, let that meat cool, let the juices go back into it, and then we're going to cut it up. Okay, it's been about 10 minutes. The meat should be ready to cut. I've got wild rice with portobello mushrooms. I'm going to set the camera down, and I'm going to cut the food up so you can get a good look at the meat, how juicy it is. Perfect.